Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. Hope you're all having a great week. I have been hustling hard over here for the past few weeks. I did a mini course, and this week I'm hosting a workshop where I teach you how to get more followers on Instagram. I don't know if you knew this. I'm not sure if you're on my email list or have been following my stories, but in October, I had nearly 400 new followers. And I did this all by myself. I wasn't relying on my content. I wasn't relying on going viral or buying followers. I did not boost posts or do any sort of ads. I did this on my own with my cute little brain and my fingertips. And you can do this too. And the best part is it only took me less than 20 minutes a day. So I was doing this while I was waiting for my daughter in the car rider lane at school. I did this while I was cooking dinner, drinking my coffee in the morning. It was just so simple. And it's a simple strategy and extremely effective, especially if your following hasn't grown at all over the past few months. And if you want more consistent leads, you need more people in your business world. You need more people to know who you are and what you're all about. And I always say a lot of your business problems would be solved if you just sold every day. And you might be like, but Allison, I am selling every day. So you have to go, okay, then what's my next problem? It's likely you just don't have enough people in your audience. All right. So it's important to note that you can be selling every day and not making any sales. And it's simply just because you don't have enough followers. All right. So you need more followers if you want to make more money. So if you'd like access to this, I'm hosting this workshop this Friday, November 8th. So this episode actually might be coming out that day. So you might be missing it, but you can definitely catch the replay afterwards. All right. So to sign up for this, click the link in the show notes. And it's for under $100. Okay. So it's really cost effective and you can start getting new followers today, realistically, once you start the strategy. All right. So let's get into this week's episode, 6 tips for building a business while being a mom. So I've been reflecting on what are the biggest challenges that mom business owners have right now. And a lot of it just like, how am I going to do this all? How am I going to do it all? Run a household, run a business, be a good wife, be a good friend, whatever, all the things, right? So whether you have 1 kid or 5 kids, it is not easy to build a business and to try to figure out how to do this all by yourself. All right. So as a mom, I have 2 kids. All right. I know I wear many hats in this family. And one of my the question that I get a lot from my clients is like, how do you juggle it all? Like I have a 6-figure business, taking care of kids, managing a household. And so as a mom of 2, I have an almost 11-year-old and a 5-year-old, just so you guys all know. And so while it's not easy, I want you to know it's absolutely possible. Many of us are on this journey because we want that flexibility to be home with our families. That's like one of your biggest values. And I'm here to tell you that you can make it work. So whether you have a full-time job, part-time job, or you are a stay-at-home mom, it's not easy either way, right? But what I know to be true about you is that you are willing to figure it out. You want this business to work so bad that you're willing to figure out a way that works best for you and your family. All right, so let's dive into the few tips and strategies that will help you make it all work. All right. So like the boundaries, asking for help, communicating, managing time and your energy. All right. So your first one is boundaries in your communication. All right. So open communication with your partner is going to be a game changer. So for me and my spouse, I'm just going to call my husband because that's what we call each other, whatever you call your partner. But me and my husband, we talk all the time. It is essential because we know if we don't talk, we have very messy days and no one wants that. No one wants to be like, well, I told you last week that I had this going on or whatever, right? Like you guys have to communicate every day. So we discuss our schedules. We divide tasks based on what's a priority right now or what's going on. We kind of look at household chores, like, who's going to clean the floors this week? Who's going to mow the lawn. I mean, there's just certain things that we both just do naturally. Like I'm not going to be mowing the lawn. That's just something he does. Right. But like, there's just certain things where, if it's not told, like, hey, we need to do this week, guess what? It just doesn't get done. Right. Also, my husband has his own business. So we never really have that like 9 to 5 schedule. All right. Sometimes he works nights and weekends or has some like random day sessions. And just so I'm clear too, our oldest is in school full time and our youngest is in preschool 3 days a week. So the days when our 5-year-old is home with us on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, we figure out what's going on, who has time to do this, or, what is our priorities for the day. All right. And I tell my husband too, and my kids, like when this office door is closed, just know mom is working, especially if you hear me talking, like do not come in this door. I'm on a call with a client or I'm maybe recording my podcast. So those are just big things that we talk about in our household. So communication is big and boundaries. And of course, there are interruptions. Like, let's be real. Like my daughter sometimes is like, I need a marker. Can I borrow one of your markers? Or like my dog sometimes will come to my sliding glass door in my office because like my husband just isn't around. He hasn't let them in yet. So there are always going to be distractions sometimes, but have some boundaries. All right. It's going to make a big difference for you. And it does for me with my focus and just scheduling my day. All right. So this leads me into number 2. Get really serious about your working hours. All right, literally no joke. As I'm recording this, my daughter just like walked in and like looked to be like, what is she doing? It's not funny. All right. Okay, she's gone now. All right. So this leads me into number 2. Get really serious about your working hours. Sit with your partner. Once again, by the way, if you're single, like I'm not sure how your like schedule works, if you're co-parenting or whatever, but like maybe that is something to even discuss with that person of like, hey, I know we're co-parenting, but these are my big goals right now, what I'm working on. All right. But like sit with your partner, literally go through your week and your day to day. When will you be getting your work stuff done? All right. I don't want you winging this. Don't wait until you feel like it. When are your working hours? And this is a big one. What are you doing during those working hours? All right. So there are definitely non-negotiables in my business every day. My clients are always top priority. My content, stories, engaging with my audience, growing my audience, every day of the week, I have something going on. All right. But if I'm not clear on what to be doing, a lot of times I sit at my desk and I'm like, okay, wait, what am I doing? And then like, I just start mindlessly scrolling or like figuring out things to do. And it's like, no, we're not doing that. Right. Get organized, get your to-do list broken down. I always tell my clients, like break the to-do list into smaller tasks. So if you need to get your sales page done this week, focus on one part of the sales page. Or if you want to get like updates to your website, all right, what needs to be updated? So for example, like I know for a fact I need to get my freebies page on my website. So I literally put on there like write description of each freebie. Like that's one or just one. You can just be like, I want to do one freebie today and then get one button put up. I think sometimes in our mind, it's like, I need to get all of these freebies up on the page before I can publish it. It's like, no, publish one at a time, right? You can update as you go. And a lot of times when you do one, you're going to be like, okay, that wasn't so hard. I can easily get another one done tomorrow, right? A lot of these tasks in our brain, we think they're so hard. And so it's like, it's really overwhelming. And so we're just like, oh, we'll keep putting that off. But if you just took a little initiative to try to get a piece of it done, you're going to realize that, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. I know like for whenever I do a presentation, in my mind, it's like, I have to write this whole presentation. This is going to take me so long. So all I do is I open up my Canva and I just start the first page. And then I start the agenda. I try to get my brain wrapped around what are all the things that I'm going to talk about in this presentation. Then from there, I break them into, okay, these are all the things. I start with one. Okay, then I start with the second one. And by the end of the week, I have it all done. Sometimes I can get all done in a day because all I really had to do was sit there and go, what's on the agenda? What am I actually going to be talking about? Okay. All right. So hopefully that was it for was that number 2? Number 2. All right. Number 3, asking for help. Moms have a really hard time with this because let's be real, we probably could do it all alone. Honestly, like we could figure that out because that's what we do. We figure things out. But I know when I'm running a business, I'm going to tell you, it's really hard for you to do this all alone. So my husband and I, we are a team. And I have really great support in my personal life as well. Like my parents live really close to me. My sister lives close. We have like a cul-de-sac full of other kids and parents that I know for right now, like I needed an hour to get something done. They'd be like, sure, drop your kids off. You know what I mean? Like I have a really good support. So I don't know if that is something that you have, or maybe you're just afraid to tap into that a little bit and just say, hey, I really need some help today. Like, would you mind if I drop the kids off for a little bit? But I'm not now afraid to ask for help or whatever with my friends and family because I need to get stuff done. If I want to build this business, I need to have actual times where I'm getting my working hours in. Okay. And with my husband, sometimes we just know we have to be flexible and we adjust our schedules and we move calls around or sessions around based off of things that we have going on. All right. We cannot expect people, especially your husband or your spouse, whatever, to read your mind. We cannot expect them to read your mind. I know that we want them to, and they should. How dare they not learn everything about us at this point? But they can't read your mind. So a lot of times when you start to get overwhelmed with life, sit down, talk it out, send a text, do whatever you got to do. What's really going on? Ask, I literally just go, hey, I'm really overwhelmed with the project. Like, is it possible for you to call your mom up and see what she's up to right now? And maybe we can drop the kids off for a little bit. Like that happens. Especially too, like when you think about like your own household stuff, like it's like, hey, we really need somebody to, clean the house. It's like, okay, cool. Like maybe we could hire a maid. Like we don't have to necessarily do that, but like think about like things that you keep putting off, or things that are just constantly pulling you away from your businessy things. Like, so you might need to invest in a babysitter. You might need to invest in somebody to mow your lawn or clean your house. Maybe you just need to sit and talk about childcare options, like talk it out. But also like, what are your values inside of your business and your house? Like if you were like, I never want to send my kid to daycare, or I never want to have a nanny or something. Okay, cool. But how are you going to figure out being a stay-at-home mom and now transitioning into a work from home mom, right? Like those are just conversations that you're going to need to have. And sometimes I just have to say no to things. Like I personally don't love going to like children's birthday parties and stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, husband, they need to go this weekend or, something like that. It's like, okay, like we just sit there and talk about it. Those are things I guess I'm willing to sacrifice. And sometimes you have to sit there and ask yourself too, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? I did that a lot more in like when I first started my business. I don't really do that much more now, but those are just things to sit there and go, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to get this business where I want it to go? Okay. This leads me into number 4. Sorry, my mind, I'm like, what number are we on? All right. Number four. All right. Building a business takes energy. So it's essential that you are filling your cup. So what this could mean for you is getting more sleep, nutrition, that, putting in good foods inside of your body, actual things that are going to boost your energy, not bring it down. Your daily movement. I work out at least 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week. And that might just be going for a walk or going for a run. But I also work out at Orange Theory, which is just a gym, a few times a week too. So I just know I'm much more productive when I work out and I move my body. All right. So sleep, nutrition, daily movement are very important. Okay. If you've been sitting for too long, go for a walk, go outside, do some squats or something like that, right? There is so much that you can do to get your energy up. And this could also just mean like, do you need another cup of coffee? I am definitely a coffee drinker. And there's just times where that's like my little safety net there. It's like, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I'm not saying I don't want you to be on caffeine all flipping day, but sometimes it's like, hey, I might need a cup of coffee. I know a lot of you guys might not drink coffee. One of my clients, we were doing an office hour a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, just got my coffee. I'm ready to go. And she's like, oh, I don't really drink coffee much. She was like, I should though. I like coffee. And I was like, wait, what? There's people out there that don't drink coffee. Wait, what? So she ended up going to get a cup of coffee. She's like, oh my God, I need to do this more often. I was like, I know it is a drug. I'm okay. Like, let me just put that out there. I know it's a drug. Don't get addicted. But it is so helpful when like you can sit at your computer or with your phone and get to work with a cup of coffee. All right. And it just makes me feel good. I don't know about you guys, but just makes me feel good. All right. Anyway, enough about coffee. All right. So focusing on you and making sure that you're feeling both just physically healthy and mentally healthy is so important for you as a mom business owner. Something that I know drains your energy, and you might not even realize it, is like your personal problems. And I've talked about this on some of my podcasts before, but like how your personal problems are showing up now as business problems, right? So when you lack boundaries or if you aren't feeling well, if things are on your mind in your personal life, when somebody like hurt your feelings or you hurt somebody else's feelings, or you're just having some family drama or just, whatever, like, or maybe you and your husband are fighting a lot right now and it's like, oh my God, like this is really weighing on me and draining my energy. Acknowledge that sort of stuff. Sometimes we might need to close some of those loops and have some hard conversations in order to feel better, right? You might need to apologize, or you might need to forgive somebody. You might need therapy. Sometimes it's like, and I've had clients like this before where they were so anxious and really overwhelmed with everything. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be the person that tells you to go to therapy, but have you actually thought about getting help with some of these personal problems that you're having? Because you will not move forward in your business with me, because that's, what you hire me for, unless some of these things in your life are acknowledged. And she was like, oh my God, you're right. Like I definitely, and so I remember months later, she's like, thank you so much for making me go to therapy, because you're right. It has helped me tremendously with like my energy levels and how I feel every single day. So sometimes it's not a time management problem, it's an energy management problem. And people don't really realize that when they're trying to build their business, right? So when your brain is sharp and you feel on point, like your ideas are better, your coaching calls are better, you can think faster, you can create content faster. So if you're eating a ton of junk right now, like, okay, let's switch that out for some carrots or something with maybe some dip. I mean, let's just be real. Let's put a little dip in there. I don't know. But yeah, if you're binging a lot of TV before bed or scrolling a lot, like, hey, it's time to put your phone away and just get some sleep. Okay. So it's sometimes not about time management. It's about your energy management. All right. So number 5, which, this leads me into number 5, really, reducing your distractions. So we talked a little bit about this, but like phones are a big distraction in our life. I've turned off all my I wouldn't say all my notifications, but most of my notifications on my phone, especially like Instagram and Voxer, like the things that like would really like make me go, oh, I got to get back to that client, or I got to get back to this DM. Like I've turned all that off. I'm on my phone enough. Like that's how I feel. I'm on my phone enough to get back to somebody in a timely fashion. And no one's paying me enough money to get back to somebody within like, 2 minutes. Right. So turn off your notifications on your phone. All right. Have actual working hours for those sort of things, like, like I said, getting back to your clients and that sort of stuff. Your family time is really important. I've even like put my phone in a cabinet before or in a drawer, which just helps me a ton, because like I can't see my phone. I can't see it ding or, not necessarily ding, but like vibrate or have the light even go off. Like we got to get away from things that are noisy. And, even if you have your TV on all day, like why do we have the TV on? Like turn off the TV. We don't need these things on all day, that they're just constant distractions. And you might be somebody that needs to actually leave your house to get away from the distractions. I have, like I said, I have 2 kids, I have 2 dogs, I have a husband home a lot of the days. There's just times where I just can't. And I go, I'm going to go to the coffee shop. We actually have we have a brand new McDonald's. I haven't been in there, but like, that might be a really great place for you. It's like sitting in this, like, there's like a little dingy corner back there. Like it's like I said, it's really nice, but, they have like little spots where you can kind of tell they like put those as like working spaces. But yeah, I was like, man, I should come over here. But like a couple days ago went with one of my friends to a coffee shop and I got so much stuff done there. And like, I think we were there for like 2.5 hours or something, but I got so much stuff done. And it was just nice to get out of the house and not have those distractions of my children and my husband. Okay. So that might be something that you need to do if you feel constantly distracted at home, even with like seeing like dirty dishes and like, I need a vacuum. It's like, oh my God, those are even for me are distractions, So it's like, you might need to leave the house. I don't know if you even have a friend that maybe they live on like a nice property. Maybe they can give you the key to their house and you can go work there while they actually, if they have like a day job or something like that, like, hey, can I just come and sit on your kitchen counter and work from your house? Like, I don't care what it is, but like get a plan. If your house is a big distraction for you. I've even gone to my parents' house before, when my kids were a little bit younger, and I just remember like, there were some days where I was like, I just can't be here. And so, yeah, change up your environment. And yeah, you're going to see that your energy goes up and you're going to get a lot more work done like much faster, because you have this, maybe it's just short amount of time to get that stuff done too, which it just helps tremendously. So, all right, hopefully that helps reduce your distractions. All right, number 6, I think this is the last one. Oh my God. Okay. Number 6, there will be times when your routine will just go out the window. And your house just feels like the wild, wild west. It's chaotic. You have kids running around, but it's okay. You have flexibility. You have the resilience. You will start over again later or tomorrow. All right. This is just a part of the motherhood business journey. If you are a mom entrepreneur, building a business, is more than just income. You want to create a life that aligns with you and your family values and your big dreams. So if your big dream is being at home with your family, just know sometimes days just don't work out, right? To get all this stuff done. And that's okay. So if you are feeling like there's a lot going on, like this is like where you have to go back up to some of the other tips. Like you might need to ask for help. You might need to sit with your husband. Like if every single day you're going, oh, I'll just start over tomorrow. Okay, well, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. You need to, I guess, have more discipline, I guess I would say, but ask for the help that that you need to get your businessy things done for the day. Okay. All right. So if you are feeling stuck or just really uncertain about what to prioritize in your business, or you need guidance on building your audience, expanding your network, converting actual followers into paying clients, this is where I come in. I help you find and sign clients on social media. So working with me will bring clarity to your strategy and give you the push that you need to grow your business with confidence. So to learn more about working one-on-one with me, click the link in my show notes. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson_coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.